He's sacked by Jacob Manu. And it's picked off. Trayton Stukes. Nobody close to Tetaroa McMillan.
Let's go.
Air Downcast. Our window depot coverage of U of A football begins with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We're counting down to kickoff on Arizona football. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Lumberjacks out of the pistol trying to snap it in a hurry. And a handoff will go to Hubbard in the end zone. And he's tackled for the safety. Cats score 2. Defense gets the job done.
That's a big-time play by the Arizona defense. They completely played in the backfield that time. That's a huge play, huge momentum shift for this ball game. Big-time play by the Arizona defense.
And our football road show begins for 2024. We are at our new pregame home right near downtown Tucson, Corbett's off 4th Avenue, to get you set for the Arizona Wildcats and the Kansas State Wildcats, the final non-conference game of the season for your Arizona Wildcats. The first time they will play a team in this new era and to which they share the same conference, the Kansas State Wildcats, although this is not a conference game today. This game previously on the schedule as just maybe a big non-conference matchup between the Big 12 and the Pac-12. But, of course, as we all know, things changed drastically last summer when the Wildcats and the 3 other known corner schools, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah, made the decision to leave the Pac-12 after some 40-plus years and enter into a new life as members of the Big 12. So, the Wildcats are in Manhattan, Kansas. I almost ran out of gas there in the middle of the night many years ago. They'll play some football there. Today, it'll be the first road game of this 2024 campaign. My name is David Kelly. I've got the captain, Kelvin Efon, 1998. I've got Glenn Howe here as well from the class of 1985. And guys, the first road game of the year when you get on a plane and go play some football is always a fun one.
Yeah, it is, Dave. But today, I just have to say one thing. Today's a sad day for me. I had a coach that my offensive line coach in junior college, Pete Davis, passed away this morning. And I just want to say just a dedication to him that, I thank him for everything he did. He turned my athletic life around at Chabot College in Hayward, California. He was a great mentor, a great coach. I wouldn't be sitting here right now if it wasn't for him. So I just want to get a shout out to his family, my condolences to his family. And Pete Davis, his brother Tim coached here with, I think Mike Stoops came here. So Tim Davis, so he's familiar with Arizona, and I was just very saddened today. But you know what? He would tell me to get it going, step it up.
Right?
It's time to play.
It's game day.
Yeah, it's game day. As he always just says, I hope we go for the throat. That's what we got to go for the throat. So my dedication to Pete Davis. Thank you for everything, and God bless your soul.
Absolutely. Coach Davis is in our thoughts for sure today. Kelvin, obviously, team gets on the plane. They go on the road. It's a chance to bond, to go into a hostile environment and try to really put the spoils on another team's home pleasures. There's no more fun thing to do than to go into somebody else's house and beat them.
That's when you find out about yourself. When you have to get on the plane, travel, and go play against another team at their house, on their field, and defeat them. I think that's when the season gets going. That's when you really find out about your brother to the left and your brother to the right, if they really about that action, as they say. So I just think that this road trip is going to be huge. It's not the Big 12, but it's everything the Big 12 is. I mean, Kansas State has been one of the top teams in that conference for some years now, and I just think this is a great test to get started on figuring out, where we're going to fit in this Big 12.
And the other thing is that it's always indicators, the eyes. When you look at your brother in the eyes, and you could see the fear, you could see, if they're ready. You know, that's what I think you really can see that when you get out in the field and you're warming up, and then you're getting ready to get in the huddle, and you look around. We sit up there on the sideline getting ready to go on, and you can tell who the guys are ready and who are not.
And DK, I'm gonna say this too. I think a lot of people don't realize everybody don't get to travel. When you get ready to go on these road trips, only what is
60?
Only 60 usually go on these trips. You usually have like 100, 120 guys on the team, so half of your guys get to go, and you got to all come together and take care of business for everybody back home.
All right, before we get into our first look at this game, you heard that safety at the top, the big defensive play last week in the home win over Northern Arizona, 22-10. Jacob Manu creating a blast furnace for one Chuba Maye to go in and get a safety. Let's hear from defensive line coach Joe Samalo on the development of one defensive tackle, Chuba Maye.
I think if anything, he's gotten himself into shape. And in that process, he's sort of dropped some weight, which is awesome because he feels good and he feels confident. But all the kid has done is just work his tail off. Coach Carroll and his staff have done an incredible job with his transformation. And right now, he's just he's playing at a very high level, and he's been happy. Happy. Big guys that are happy is always a good thing.
And I'll correct myself. Chuba Maye is how you pronounce his last name. I love Joe Samalo, man. He's got a couple of sons that are playing in the National Football League, and when big people are happy, everybody's happy, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you, there's nothing better being 300 pounds and feeling you're skinny, okay? There's nothing better than feeling that you're in shape and you slim down and you feeling fast and you're feeling like you can move. That's a great thing. I went from 280, 81 down to 230. And I felt like, I was Superman, okay? It was like, that's why I had to go from offensive guard to tight end. And it's nothing better than feeling that way, as being in the greatest shape of your life. And every year, I always tell all my players, Calvin, you got to be in the best shape of your life every year. So every year, you're getting in better and better shape.
Yes, sir.
Well, and he's a guy that you mentioned, slimmed down. He came in around 390. He's lost about 45 pounds. But still, that's probably a good playing weight. Needed to kind of get himself in a little bit better shape. Kudos to Corbin Carroll and the strength staff for really getting him down to where he needed to be.
Yeah, and think about that. Grab a 45-pound weight when you go into the gym
right?
next time, and carry that down just across the gym.
Yeah.
Okay, and then think of that being on your body.
Exactly.
That's
try to run.
Yeah, try to run. Try to run with 45 pounds. Right. That's taking one of the big plates and put it in front of your face and run with it. That's a lot of LBs.
All right, let's take a look at Arizona State. Arizona State played last night, and they won. We'll get to that later. Let's take a look at Arizona and Kansas State.
It's time to take our first look at today's game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com.
All right, Kansas State, Arizona today in Manhattan. It'll be a 5 o'clock kickoff again. This is a non-conference game between two Big 12 conference teams. Chris Kleinman is the head coach of Kansas State, the Wildcats. He was asked if that's a little weird having two conference teams playing a non-conference game.
Does playing Arizona as a non-conference game affect how you view it at all?
You kind of forget that they just joined the league. I still see it as a non-conference game. If you told us we were playing Baylor in a non-conference, I'd say that sounds weird to us. We're all still figuring this out. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the way it should be, and I'm not going to win that thing, but we need to play 10 conference games or 8 conference games. This 9 playing 5 on the road and 4 at home, it doesn't make any sense to me. We need to be able to play 10, and everybody should play 10, and it would be have a lot more parity.
What do you guys think of that? I thought that was
5
an
and 5.
interesting statement. Yeah, playing 10, and then you would only play 2 non-conference, or play 8, and you would play 4 non-conference.
Yeah,
I
like
like
that.
the 10. I'd much rather play 10 games in conference than not.
Yeah, I like the 10 too. I like 10. You play 10, 5 and 5. 5 away, 5 at home, and let's get after it. And then every one of those count, man. You're looking at. You don't have to worry about, does this one, we got to get ready for the next one, or if they split them and put them inside the 10 that comes in a row of the conference. Sometimes they put them like the 6th, 7th game, and that's horrible. I think that is horrible when they do that. Like when Alabama played,
they played
Alabama State
in
Community
week 10.
College. Yeah, exactly.
That's their bye week.
Yeah, exactly.
That's their bye week.
That's the worst. I think that's the worst.
And I like the 10 because you get a chance to play the majority of the teams in the conference. You want to battle against the conference, so when you do win the conference, you can at least feel like a true champion.
Yeah.
A lot of times where you're playing in these conferences with 16 and 18 teams, you don't even go against everybody, so you don't really know if you're really the best team.
Yeah.
Chris Kleiman, you heard from there. He was charged with replacing a legend, Bill Snyder, longtime coach at Kansas State, had 2 different stints as the head coach at Kansas State from 1989 to 2005, and then came back in 2009 for another 9 or 10 seasons after that. 3-time Big 8 Coach of the Year, 4-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, so 7 times he was the best coach in this conference, and a guy that Brent Brennan certainly looked up to.
He was a guy that I was really interested in. I read his book when I took over at San Jose, just because, the histories weren't the same, but they were similar. I was so impressed with what Coach Snyder did there and he was there for so long, and then he stepped down and then came back and, kicked butt again. The guy's amazing. So obviously one of the best coaches of our generation for sure.
215 career wins for Bill Snyder, and again, this is we talk about Kansas State. This is an outpost where they're mostly known for football. They don't. When you look at the Directors' Cup, which is what ranks all of the athletic departments, they are usually one of the bottom 2 in Power 5. Next to Washington State. So they don't necessarily succeed in a whole lot of things, but they have succeeded in football over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of my best buddy, a guy who was in my wedding, Charlie Dickey, coach for Coach Snyder for many, many years, and he had the most respect for him. But Coach Snyder, he was a grinder, dude. He was a grinder. You were in the office on Thanksgiving. You were in the office, Christmas. You were grinding. He was really a coach that really tried to, get every single ounce of time dedicated to football during the football season. And that's a philosophy that is a good philosophy for some. And then you look at the other opposite side. Charlie coached for Coach Tomey, and Coach Tomey wanted them to have family time. Yes. He wanted them to go and have family time, go do things, different things with their family, have that that Thanksgiving off, and then have that Christmas off, and do those things with their family. But everybody has their own philosophy. Both were very successful. So, you got to pick and choose. There's some guys that don't like that, some guys, but he was the guy that was very successful.
And me, myself, my connection with Kansas State is that I was recruited very heavily out of Texas. They recruit Texas very hard. And my high school particularly, that 2 of my high school teammates, they were seniors when I was a junior. Both of those guys went and played and started there. Cornerback and safety, Wythenica Spiller and T.J. Robinson. Both of those guys played with me in high school and played there. So, yeah, we got a little bit. When I went to football, and they were in Dallas playing in the Cotton Bowl, and they were the guys who was joking me when my first year playing football, and we didn't make a bowl game. Right.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, so that hyped me up.
You ain't played in no bowl?
Yeah, they talking noise. So,
Yeah.
End up being the MVP and then, getting to the holiday bowl. So making sure I wasn't at home doing Christmas because I didn't want to hear that. Oh, yes, sir.
All right. Obviously, this is a hostile environment. First time this year. Obviously, nothing new. The Wildcats have played in some places like Seattle and Eugene, and so they know loud crowds. The difference this year is now you have the helmet-to-player contact, and Dino Babers talked this week about that communication and how they anticipate that it's going to work in loud road environments.
It helps a little bit, there's no doubt about it, but it's amazing when you're trying to speak into that helmet. If there's loud noises coming outside of it, it's still very extremely difficult for the quarterbacks to hear. You may even see them, if you watch the games, cupping their ears, trying to keep the outside noise out and keeping the noise inside the helmet so the information can be distributed. But it's still difficult. Loud stadiums make a difference.
And we've seen Noah doing that at home.
Yeah.
He has his hands. You can see him with his hands over the ear holes to try to condense and be able to hear what they're telling him in his helmet. So you can only imagine that's going to be magnified in a road environment.
Yeah. I hate to say it, Wildcat fans, that's going to be a little louder in Kansas State, in Manhattan. We got to bring up our game because it's going to be really loud there. I mean, it's like they really get after it there. Their fans, they'll sell out the place. The place will be sold out. There'll be standing room only. And, like I said, Kelvin, when you go to a place like that, that's where you love. That's what you came here for.
Yes.
That's what you came here for. Is to play in places like that, and you want to play like that at home, and then you want to play like that away.
Because you want to shut the crowd up.
Yep.
You want to shut that crowd. You want to get it silenced in there, man. And I used to love being the guy to score that first touchdown, to put that finger over the mouth. So you're like, shh, like just quiet them up because now you can get to playing some regular football. But back to the microphone in the ear, I heard they shut it down 15 seconds before.
Right.
Yeah, before.
Right. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, the defense is going to shift.
Yeah.
They're not going to show you their stuff until the last 15 seconds. So he's in your ear and he's reminding you, but at the same time, you still got to play ball.
Yeah.
Right.
And the offense is going to do the same thing. They're going to set up in a formation
and then shift.
And then shift too. So it's going to be mind games on both sides.
All right, this is a 5 o'clock game for us kickoff. That means 7 o'clock tonight in Manhattan, Kansas. We're no stranger to us, 7 o'clock, 7:30 kickoffs. That's the norm out here on the West Coast. Apparently, though, according to Kansas State quarterback Avery Johnson, this is not necessarily the norm for them.
I think it's going to be a great opportunity because we're one of the only teams playing on Friday, and it's on Fox, so it's going to be for everybody to see. It's a really special opportunity for us, and we get to play at home, which our home crowd is like no other. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be different because I never played a game this late, and I mean they just dropped the time for that BYU game, so I mean I'm going to be playing even later next week, but it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to go out there and line it up with my guys.
Now, I don't know what high school he went to, but he might have been, I know that where I come from, a lot of the inner city schools, they don't play night games because of stuff can happen. They'll play 4 o'clock games. So I don't know if that was the case for him, but they're going to get an education now on what night football is all about.
Yeah, that could be a factor, playing later than usual. That could be a factor with our guys knowing and understanding that's the same kind of thing that we do all the time. We play those late games, and we've even played later.
Yeah,
for sure. So I think that's going to be a good little advantage for us.
All right, let's get our first break in here. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show. We're coming to you live from Corbett's. Come on down, watch the game. They got 38 screens here to watch some football. We already got some fans over there in the house. Hello, young lady.
Hello.
Thanks for coming out and joining us.
We got to close first look and do rundown.
All right, let's tell you what else is coming up in today's show.
That's our first look at the game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop at WindowDepot.com. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show, brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, we'll have our offensive scouting report coming up next. We'll go in the How with Huddle, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. The captain's corner today, Manua Savea, offensive tackle from the class of 1999, will join us. Also, we'll get our pest of the game coming up a little bit later. What Wildcat, what Purple Cat is going to be the one that gets underneath the skin of your Arizona Wildcats today? It's Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, coming to you live from Corbett's off 4th Ave with Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howe. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our window depot coverage of Arizona football is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casinos. First Chiropractic, Jack Thurrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Polson Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic offers military discounts to retired and disabled veterans.
Take care. First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 5-star Google reviews.
Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
And we're coming to you from Corbett's here on 4th Avenue. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Let's dive into our offensive scouting report.
Here is the Wildcats offensive scouting report for today's game.
He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
The offensive scouting report is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
First and 10 Wildcats. They lead 15-10, 9:40 to go in the fourth. Handoff. Conley weaving his way down the side. Riscano near side. Foot race to the end zone. Riscano will score it. Touchdown, Arizona.
What a run. Riscano explodes up the sideline and literally goes untouched. I mean, you see that big guy get going forward, man. That's a scary thing.
I mean, it looked like just a kind of an innocent roll to the left, and then he hit the accelerator and nobody could catch him.
Yes, he did.
Well, you know what they say, when you start to make plays, people will say your name and they will begin to say it correctly. It is actually Kedrick Risano, we found out this week, not Kedrick Riscano, but he had the big touchdown run that kind of sealed the win last Saturday night over the Northern Arizona Lumberjacks by a score of 22-10. He is a transfer. He played in 10 games, mostly special teams last year, down in the SEC for the Mississippi Rebels. How did he end up at U of A, and why is this the right place for him?
I just think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. That's it. Next man up mentality.
Kedrick, what was that moment like for you, that 56-yard touchdown, your first collegiate touchdown?
Amazing. I can't even describe nothing like that, man. That's like first college touchdown, man, it's nothing like that, man.
Nothing like it. And, guys, I posted on my Twitter page the thing that I loved most about that page, Kelvin, you and I talked about it yesterday on DK on the Sports Tip, was the block by Jonas Savianea in that game right there. And on that particular play, he drove that little defensive back 11 yards down the field to make that play happen for Kedrick Risano.
No, that's huge, man. I mean, when your offensive linemen just have that type of heart and that type of hustle, it makes you want to run harder as a running back. I'm sure he sees that at practice with these guys. So in the game, he understands, hey, follow this big guy. I mean, and the way he just ran that little guy down there, every time a big guy get a chance to grab hold of one of those little guys, they love to pancake him. They love to try to take him on a little ride.
And you know, and that's the kind of a guy you want. He gets his opportunity, and what does he do? He breaks one. You know, he's not, running into the back of the lineman. Here's a kid that's thinking about what he's supposed to be going, how the play is designed, if he's following his guy, Kelvin, you know you're running back. If you're following it, you know what the play design is.
On track.
And you're right on the track, and you're going downhill. And the thing about I like about this guy's just a freshman. He's a freshman. He was a 4 or 5 star. I think he was a 4-star coming out of high school. Just a really highly touted, and we got a stable full of running backs that can really, every one of them can do the job.
And it's huge having him, especially with the difficulties what you have going on right now with Merritt, not knowing if he's going to be here. Having him on the roster right now was a huge pickup, and him showing what he can do against NAU have me excited for his future.
Well, and obviously one of the reasons that he got in there was because Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt was out last week. There are some eligibility concerns that have come up with him, and it was dating back to when he initially played football in college at Alabama State and how many games he played in and the state of that. We'll dive into that a little bit coming up later in the program. But Ja'Cory not expected to play in tonight's game either. Kedrick, though, as we mentioned, you start playing well, people start saying your name correctly, not Riscano, but Risano. But how often have people mispronounced his name in the past?
All the time. All the time. I'm going to say it right now, so hopefully stop it. It's Risano. It's been happening for so long, it don't really frustrate me no more.
Kelvin, how many times did people mispronounce your name?
They still do it. They still do
And
it.
sometimes they spell it
They
wrong.
spell it
too.
wrong,
Yeah.
too. Exactly. Even
Yeah,
guys
that's
that you've been
me.
working by
That's
for
me.
10 years.
That's me. That's me. Hey, it's
and
that
the funny
automatic spell check. I have to give that. That's the thing that killed me.
Hey, and the funny part is Kelvin. I get Kelvin,
Yeah,
Kevin,
yeah.
Calvin.
Yeah.
So it's my first and last
Yeah.
name. I'm like, okay.
Kevin?
Exactly. Yeah, it is
Well,
what
they
it
don't
is.
give me 2 wins. No, I'm just kidding. I need 2 wins.
Quali Connolly, also a big game, ran for over 100 yards. Quali on sharing the backfield with Kedrick.
Kedrick. I love Kedrick.
See?
He, like my little brother. But he just a physical downhill runner. He's a freshman, so he just brings the energy to our running back room as a whole. And I feel like when he scored, like everybody went crazy because like Kedrick, he's just a special guy.
And Kedrick on the advice he got from Ja'Cory.
He said, make him feel you. He said, it's your turn. He said, go shine. Like, Ja'Cory, he was really supportive about everything that happened so far.
And that's one of the things I liked. Obviously, Ja'Cory dealing with the situation. He probably doesn't know if his college career might be over, but he was very engaged on the sideline during that game last Saturday night.
That's leadership. That's what leadership is, man. He's it's not about him, it's about the team. And I think that Coach Brennan is putting that message, Coach Tomey's message, the team. And that's why that kid went up to that freshman and said, man, hey, it's your time. Instead of being pissed off and saying, what the heck is the NCAA doing? I don't even know what they're doing. We could do a whole show on them. But, it's just sad that here he is. He already played one game, and then now they're saying he's ineligible. And what does he do? He's going to help a younger player.
And you hear this thing about family all the time. And he's basically like a big brother. I mean, he's basically 22, 23 years old. This kid's like 19, possibly 20, as a redshirt freshman. And he's been a true big brother. Things not going great for you as a big brother, that doesn't matter. You still do the right thing for your little brother. And you tell him, hey, man, this is your opportunity. Make the most of your chance. And that's exactly what he did. And that's what you kind of expect. He is a transfer, so you don't quite know. Is he a selfish guy? We don't know him. But that right there went a long way to telling us what type of character and what type of young man he is.
Another guy we got to see shine on offense for the first time in the win over Northern Arizona was wide receiver Jeremiah Patterson.
Fafita out of the shotgun. Conley to his right. Fafita looking left. Throwing left in the flat. Got a man wide open. Patterson inside the 10 of the 5. Breaks a tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
Jeremiah Patterson gets the ball. Looks like he's going to be stopped on a swing route around the 3 or 4 yard line. He just puts his shoulders down and just bulls his way into the end zone. Breaks a tackle. Big time play by Jeremiah Patterson.
And for Patterson, his first touchdown as a Wildcat. Transfer out of college of San Mateo. A great career there, and puts the Wildcats ahead 12-10. Extra point upcoming.
Well, and when you maybe run over one guy, that's bullying a guy. But when you are bullying over a guy, but when you run through 3 guys, that's bullying. Yeah. I think, guys, is what we saw there from Jeremiah Patterson showing his strength.
And that's determination. That's determination. That's the saying that's where I need to be, is in the end zone. He was not going to be denied, and that's great effort.
And also trying to prove yourself to your teammates. I mean, it's one thing I do it in practice, but it's another thing when I do it in the game. And I want to show you, T-Mac, you got help. Noah, you can trust me. I got to do something with this ball
DK,
as soon as I get it, because I don't know how many times I'm going to get it. So I need to show, hey, no, you guys can trust me as well to be a weapon. And then the other thing I say, when I saw that number 2, I was like, did Calvin get another year?
Yeah.
They got the same build.
Same move.
Like the same speed, same type of guy.
All right, before we hear from Dino Babers on these 2 transfers, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. You're listening to the flagship of Arizona Wildcats Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, Jeremiah Patterson coming from College of San Mateo, Kedrick Ricino coming from Ole Miss. Dino Babers, happy to have them both.
I think it says something about, obviously, the recruiting department. I think it says something about our culture here as well. because those two guys could have went anywhere they wanted to go. They would be recruiting by everybody. But when they came here and met our players and met our team, met Coach B, and got a taste of what our Ohana is all about, our culture is all about, they wanted to be a part of it. And even more important than that, our players.
10 seconds.
You know, if our players don't like somebody we bring in and recruit, you know, it may not be a good situation for them, but they really enjoy Jeremiah and Ked, and we're glad they're a part of our family.
I like how Dino uses the word Ohana, Hawaiian for family, bringing guys into your family.
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to set. That's what they're trying to set up. That's what they're really trying to make this thing as. So you play harder for a family member, don't you, Kelvin?
Yeah,
I just think
$1,000.
that you do.
Yeah, a little more.
If I was playing with Kelvin, I was like, I play my butt off for him. You know, it's like that's the way you feel. If you feel that way, that then you feel unstoppable.
Yes, sir. And another thing is, if you think you're going to continue to get those Polynesian players without having that, you're not. They're only going to come where they feel that type of environment. That was one of the reasons why I wanted Manu on here so bad today, because I wanted someone to speak to that as far as the Polynesian culture is concerned and how important it is for them to be in family-type atmospheres.
All right, obviously, it's transfer Jeremiah Patterson, again, from College of San Mateo. He's one of a number of guys that have come from that junior college in Northern California.
Yeah, I know that college very, very well.
Did they beat your butt?
No.
Okay.
We own the league. We were conference champions.
Okay.
So we might have to do a segment on that.
Let's hear from Jeremiah on how he built his relationship with wide receivers coach Bobby Wade.
We started talking and chopping it up. We instantly clicked, and I already knew Bobby Wade, obviously, and I just felt like we related, especially with like the same skill set we have, and anything he's telling me, I picked up on everything. And second time I talked to him, we went out to eat and everything, and kind of just grew our relationship from there. And I just trusted him, because it's like usually not the best when you meet a coach for the first time. Sometimes it's a little bit, uncomfortable, but we instantly connected, and that was a great start from that.
Well, that was interesting what he said there at the end, like when you're being recruited and you meet a coach and, you're trying to feel a guy out to see if, okay, is this a guy I want to be in the same room with for the next 3 or 4 years? What is that process like of trying to figure out a coach?
Yeah, that's a heck of a process. I'm telling you. I'll tell you, it might not happen to the second night that you're here. To be honest with you, really, because you're talking to so many coaches, and you get a few minutes with them, and then you get with your position coach. They do it a little different now. I think they do like a total like a sales job.
Group,
and they do it, and they tell you what how you fit in. With us, they were on the board. They're saying this is where you're at. Things have changed. They got film. Because Dwayne Aquina showed them all the defensive backs that he's coached when he's there. He's showing him Chris McAllister. He's showing the guys from Texas that were there. Darrell Lewis, and all these different guys. You're showing them the film, because now you have access to doing all that stuff. But it's tough. But if you can connect with the kid right when you shake his hand, that's a great recruiter.
And I think a lot of it is when you have guys like Bobby Wade who have that college and professional experience. I think you connect to those guys a lot quicker, because you trust and you believe in where they've been. And when you're talking to them, you believe that they can teach you stuff to help you get there. Ultimately, all these guys dreaming of getting to the NFL, being successful college players like Bobby was, and getting to the NFL. So if I have a coach who's done it at both levels, your ears are wide open. So a lot of times I think that has a lot to do with it. Those personal connections is the experience of that coach.
Absolutely. Good stuff there. All right, that is a look at Arizona's offense heading into Kansas State.
That's the Wildcats Offensive Scouting Report. The Offensive Scouting Report is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. O'Reilly Chevrolet, get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
All right, straight ahead, we're going to go in the huddle with Hal, plus a whole lot more. We'll update you on what's happening around college football. Only one other game today, but it is a game that involves another Big 12 team. It's Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, coming to you live from Corbett's off 4th Ave. Come on down, all kinds of great specials, lunch, and they've got 38 TVs here, plus a big screen out here in the courtyard where you can watch the Wildcats take on the Wildcats in Manhattan, Kansas tonight. Along with Kelvin Efon, Glenn Howe, I'm David Kelly. J.W. Madden back running the board, controlling it here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto, professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE EAGLE.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
have any fun. Let's go in the huddle with Arizona letterman Glenn Howell. In the huddle with Glenn Howell is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Door and Gates. Kaiser, with over 25 years serving Arizona.
Welcome into this week's edition of In the Huddle with Howell, presented by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. I'm U of A tight end Glenn Howell, class of 1985. My guest this week could not make it. Canceled on me on the last minute. But you know what we're going to do this week, guys? We're going to talk about some tight ends.
Oh, boy.
Some all-time best tight ends in the Pac-12.
All right.
Pac-12, Pac-10, Pac-8. And I was, when J-Dub mentioned that, I was on J-Dub, okay? And I know J-Dub
so
is
one.
Google search
He better bring
right
one
now.
then, right?
So, yeah, I got one. I got a couple.
Okay.
Now, if we're looking at the best tight end, if you're looking at all time, you're looking at as far as catches and being able to play in the Pac-10, how they did in the Pac-10 or the Pac-8 or the Pac-12, I would think one of my first one in the top five right now between, I would say you would look in the top five, I'm looking at Greg Beatty.
Greg Beatty.
Out of Stanford.
All right.
He had I think about 60 balls, I think, as a tight end.
Wow.
His senior year, that was the year that I was an honorable mention all Pac-10 tight end. Greg Beatty was number one, and then there was a second team guy that was at USC. And I know I look at USC's, guys that are the tight ends. You got to look at, I hate to say it, who was a really productive tight end.
Who's that?
That was at Arizona State. Todd
Heap.
Todd Heap.
Oh, yeah.
Todd Heap.
Oh, God,
he played 4 years.
He might be at the top of my list.
Yeah, he's in
What?
there. He's yeah.
I got a few that I
Yeah,
gotta bring up.
Okay, all right. You got Todd Heap. You got to look at him.
Well, there's Tony Gonzalez.
Oh, there you
And
go.
there's
That's
Tony
what I was
Gonzalez.
doing.
Yeah.
I got a connection.
And then
with
that was my other guy, because my brother would be saying, "Boy, what are you talking about? You're not talking about the Cal guy, Tony Gonzalez." And then also you got to look at Dave Lewis from Cal. He was a first-round pick for the Detroit Lions.
Is this one guy that I know used to play for U of A?
Yeah, Gronkowski.
What about Big Gronk?
But Gronk only played 1 year.
Yes,
really.
So you said in the conference.
I'm talking
in
about
conference.
That's why.
In conference.
I got
That's what I'm
you,
talking about. If
I
you
got you.
played a duration of a year, who J-Dub, who has the most catches as a tight end in the Pac-10?
The most catches in the conference.
Yes, in the conference.
Oh gosh, that's a good question.
I think it's Greg Beatty.
Could be. Zach Ertz is another guy out of Stanford.
Yeah, Zach Ertz out of Stanford.
Obviously
That's another
played a number of years in the National Football League. Was teammates with Nick Foles. Ended his career with the Arizona Cardinals. Austin Safarian Jenkins.
Yes.
From Washington.
Yeah, from Washington.
That's another name I remember.
He played
from,
100 years in the NFL. Didn't he? He played a lot of years.
He played a long time.
Yeah.
He played a long time.
And then also
that's
the guy
for
from
sure.
UCLA.
Yes.
Mercedes Lewis.
Mercedes
Yes.
Lewis.
I couldn't think of the name, yes.
Mercedes Lewis.
Mercedes Lewis. That's another. He won the Mackey Award in 2005. He had 58 catches that year.
Yeah, he was a great tight end. He's long, 6'6".
Right.
About 245, and then when he got in the NFL, you got it to about 260.
Well, he had 126 career catches, did Mercedes Lewis. I'm just looking at a list right here, and I don't know that I see anybody that had more catches. Well, no, you guys, Zach Miller from Arizona State.
Yeah, another
2004
one.
to 6. He had 144 catches.
Wow.
In his career, so he actually broke most of Todd Heap's records at ASU. But like we also mentioned Tony Gonzalez, but he was another guy that they didn't really throw the ball a ton, I think, during his era, so I don't think he caught the ball a lot, but when he did, he was very effective in doing so and making plays. And then how about the guy now, Brant Keithy from Utah?
Yeah,
he's
been
very, very solid, although he got hurt last year, and that cut into his time. When you think about it, they lost Cam Rising and Brant Keithy last year. I mean, their quarterback and their best tight end. That was one of the reasons why Utah kind of took a step back offensively last year, and Wildcats obviously beat them when they came here to Tucson. But having those two guys back this year is one of the reasons why they are All right, we're going to break in here, come back, give you your defensive look at your Arizona Wildcats. It's Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, getting you set for Arizona and Kansas State from Manhattan. Kickoff coming up at 5 o'clock. It's Meridian Wealth Game Day. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Desert Diamond Casinos. First Chiropractic, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Polson Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
The Zero, Zilch, Nada sales event continues at Royal Kia. Get into a new electric Kia and pay nothing up front. Zero due at signing and all taxes and fees included. Plus, you'll never pay for gas again. Get into a new electric Kia for less than $300 a month. Choose the 24 Kia Niro EV Wind for $209 a month or the 24 Kia EV6 for $294 a month. Both leases are 24 months with zero due at signing and all taxes and fees included. Pay nothing up front and get into a new electric Kia. Plus, save even more when you trade in a vehicle. See dealer for details. No security deposit. Mileage charge of 20 cents per mile over 10,000 miles per year. OAC. Must lease with Kia Motors Finance. K29126. K30739. Offers end 9/30/24. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Now at Royal Kia. Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
The Window Depot has everything you need to create the kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. Browse the aisles of in-stock cabinets available in a variety of sizes and configurations and instantly elevate your space today. Visit a showroom and let our experts guide you. Whether you're choosing from ready-to-go designs or creating a custom masterpiece, we can help you select the perfect wood type, color, and style, and top it off with unique hardware to complete your look. Find a location near you at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Joel McHale, live. It was colder in Winnipeg than it was on Mars. What did the people of Winnipeg do when it was colder there than Mars differently? Nothing. They sent their kids to school. They were just like, run!
As seen on Netflix, Friday, October 18th, 8 p.m., Diamond Center at Desert Diamond Casino Sahuarita. Tickets on sale now at the Reward Center or online at etix.com. Don't miss Joel McHale, live.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires. And right now, we've got more rebates and savings than ever. Now's the time to buy. Check out jackfurriers.com for all the details. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a...
1 minute out.
Cleaning.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And
20 seconds.
this year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Wildcat Nation.
Are you ready?
Touchdown, Arizona. Gunnar Maldonado. Noah straight back to throw. Got a man. Hot. Touchdown, Arizona. He's sacked by Jacob Manu. And it's picked off. Trayton Stukes. Nobody close to Tetaroa McMillan.
Let's go. Air down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We're getting closer to kickoff for today's Arizona football game. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
So now, do the Lumberjacks take a shot? They're going to go for it on fourth down, at least show that. Pennington will take it, dive to the right. I don't think he got it.
I don't think he got it.
He did not get it. And the Wildcats are going to take over the football.
That's a huge stop by Arizona.
Arizona's defense doing their thing last week in holding Northern Arizona to just 10 points. Welcome back out here to Corbett's, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Wildcats as we have a 5 o'clock kickoff, 2 o'clock in Manhattan, Kansas today. Let's get you up to date on what's happening on the defensive side of the ball for Arizona.
Let's look at the Wildcats defensive scouting report for today's game.
Back to throw. He gets hit. He fumbles the ball. The Cats with the ball. They pick it up. They'll take over at midfield.
Today's defensive scouting report is brought to you by Rockin' K. Rockin' K, Tucson's premier master plan community. This is Arizona football on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, you heard that sack at the top there by none other than the Arizona Wildcats defense. They got a number of those. I think they had 9 tackles for losses and sacks in that ball game the other night against NAU. And again, it was a much better job by the Wildcat defensive line in that ball game. They are playing a ton of guys, still trying to find the mix of guys they want to use. There's a lot of veterans, a lot of transfers. We mentioned Chuba Maiai at the top of the show. Let's hear from another one of those transfers from San Jose State, Trey Smith, who talks about all the different defensive linemen that are getting a chance to play for this team right now.
It's been cool. I mean, we're prepared for anything. So everybody's preparing like a starter. We got 2 groups of ones, 3 groups of ones. There's no 1s, 2s, 3s. We're all ones. So we could all rotate at any time and trust that the guy next to us is going to do what he has to do. I don't think that's an issue.
I mean, they've been using like guys about 13, 14 guys through those different rotations there. Do you think ultimately they're going to have to pare that down to maybe 8 or 9 or no?
No, I don't think so. I think they need to run all those guys through. The more reps they get for all the guys, the better they'll be prepared if anybody goes down. I mean, they're put in different positions, these guys. And I think that's great for them. And if we have the ability to play 11 guys, 12 guys on the D line, that's fantastic, man. I think that's great.
Yeah, I think you want to have fresh guys, as many fresh guys you can have on the field as possible. And having that many D linemen, it just reminds me of the time when we only had 2. It didn't necessarily, and those guys weren't necessarily,
Sellers,
the biggest guys.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
They weren't necessarily
Sellers,
the biggest guys. So
Parker Sellers.
seeing all these 300-pounders just make you believe that the linebackers should be able to have a great year of being able not having to worry about offensive linemen getting up to them and letting them roam and make plays.
Another guy who was able to get a sack last week comes out of Kelvin's hometown of Dallas, Texas.
Play fake. Pennington back to throw. Roll into the right. He's caught. He's sacked. Back inside the 35-yard line. Chase Kennedy, redshirt sophomore out of Dallas, the transfer from Utah with the sack.
Yeah, Chase Kennedy is one of the speedier defenders they have, and he's a pass rush specialist, and that time he just blew by.
And that's what you want right there from a guy like Chase Kennedy. Trey Smith definitely lining up opposite of him.
Chase is a great player, man. Since he's got here, he's just been working hard and learning everything and applying all his techniques, and you see him showing up, so he's a great player.
Another factor about that, if I'm an offensive lineman and I'm seeing Chase Kennedy, then I'm seeing Tyjae
Ukulele?
Yeah,
Yeah.
ukulele. And then I'm seeing somebody else.
Lance
sometimes,
Kinley?
yeah. Then you're losing your
Sterling Lane.
Yeah, then you're losing your scouting report. Which guy is that guy? Okay, what move is he going to make? Which guy? So that is a big factor for us because if those guys we're not putting guys in there that cannot produce. So we're putting guys in there that can produce, and if we could do that, that's going to confuse the offensive lineman.
Chase Kennedy may be fast, but Dwayne Aquina likes what's on the inside of Chase Kennedy.
Just really practices and plays hard. And all the great pass rushers I've been around, the Brewskis, the Rakapos, there's athletic ability, but it's the motor, the relentless pass rush, just keep going, and he's a relentless football player.
If I'm a football player and Dwayne Aquina says that about me, that's
and Coach Tomey used to always say this.
Yeah.
You don't want people saying you're big and fast.
Yeah, exactly.
You want them saying what Coach
just said. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? That's what you want.
You got a motor. He's got passion for practice.
Yes, sir.
And he's comparing him to Brewski and Rockamore, the guy in Texas.
Yeah.
I mean,
I was just going to say, sounds like Texas football.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Sound like a guy, because I got to look on there, and I'm wondering what high school, because it sounds like he's from Duncanville. It sounds like he's from one of them type of schools in Texas, but just love to play the game, man. Excited to have a kid with that type of athleticism on the end.
And those guys like that are excited about games like this. This is where we have to have a great game from these guys. This defense has really got to play well today because they're going to try to shove it down our throats. They go two tight ends. They come in there, and then they have that quarterback that can run and they run and shoot. That's what they're doing.
Option.
I mean, they're option. They're doing everything, and we just got to light that guy up, man. That's what we got to do today. We have to have the killer instinct today to light that quarterback up.
Well, some injuries on the backside. Gunnar Maldonado did not play against NAU. We'll see if he can go today. And obviously Dalton Johnson went out of the game last week late in that first half. So we finally got a first chance to see Owen Goss have to come in and play Dwayne Aquina on the switch out of Johnson for Goss.
This was your classic game of next man up. Losing Gunnar and then losing Dalton. You just always have to be prepared. I thought he came in and did a phenomenal job, but that's why you just always got to be ready to be called upon. And being a backup anywhere, the expectation level is, you try out there. The expectation level is, you only got 25% of the practice reps, but we expect you to play like the starter. And I thought he came in, played hard, was very active, did his job. There was no negative plays. Was he perfect? No.
Well, again, guys, this is what we talked about, how deep this defensive backfield was, that you had some guys like Genesis Smith who probably deserved to be starting but might not be because of some veteran guys like a Gunnar Maldonado or Traden Stukes. And lo and behold, now here you got some injuries, and now those guys are on the field, and they're having to live up to those expectations. And we talked about 2 weeks that they could play at high level.
In football, starting is overrated.
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
Overrated.
Absolutely.
A lot of times it's about what position group you want on the field at that time.
Yeah.
Defense, do you want a dime or a nickel,
Yeah.
depending on how many defensive linemen you want. Offense, do you want 5 receivers, no backs? Like, it's overrated, I really believe. Every guy has to be ready to go because football is one of those gladiator sports that at any time somebody can go down, and that next guy has to feel like he's a starter. I used to always say this. I said the last guy on the team has to feel like if you put me in, I'm gonna win the game.
Exactly.
You have to have. You can't have nobody around there that feels like we're
on that
we're
60
overmatched.
team. On that 60 team coming in, if you're on that 60 team traveling, that means that you got a chance to play.
Oh, heck yeah.
You better be ready to play because if you didn't make that 60, then you got to kind of look around and say what's up.
Yeah, it's like,
you know,
like the NFL. I mean, you're taking 53, and most of those 53 going to get in the game, so you got to be ready to go.
You got to be ready to go if you're on that 60 team. And you know, one thing about what I want to say about Gunnar Maldonado, I think we miss a little bit of a spice from him. You know, like with him in there, he gives us a little extra of that edge because he's kind of a, how I would say politely on the radio.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick.
Exactly.
You know, so you need
your favorite word with a P.
Yeah, exactly. You got to have those guys on the field, especially in a hostile environment where we're going. He's telling guys. He actually doesn't tell guys. He shows guys. You know, those are the guys that did. Like Chuck Cecil wasn't a guy that talked a lot.
Yeah,
he was a guy that laid the hat and told everybody, let's go.
And to me, one of the biggest things when you lose a guy like that is that now the offense opens up a little bit more because that guy's not there. They're gonna. I mean, it's gonna make the receivers feel more comfortable and the offensive coordinator feel more comfortable. When you have that guy there, there's certain plays you have to take off of your play sheet.
Yep.
All right, that's our first check-in with the Arizona defense for today's game at Kansas State.
And that's a look at the Wildcats' defensive scouting report for today's game.
Back to throw. Here comes the rush again. He's sacked by Jacob Onu.
Today's defensive scouting report is brought to you by Rockin' K. Rockin' K, Tucson's premier master plan community. This is Arizona football on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, let's tell you about what is coming up in the second hour of our show today.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show, brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, we'll give you a scoreboard update brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. We're going to go into the captain's corner. Manu Savea going to join us, Kelvin, today.
Yes, sir. I mean, great offensive lineman here, played for the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the best blockers I ran behind in my time here.
Wow. So we'll hear from him, class of
Nicest guy in the
1999.
world.
Our best bets are coming up as well. Arizona enters this game as the underdog by a full touchdown at Kansas State. +7 is the play for the Arizona Wildcats today. Also, our keys to the game coming up for you before we get out of here at 3:30. We'll turn it over to Brody Dryden and Kyle Quinn on the network side, leading you up from 3:30 to the 5 o'clock kickoff with Brian Jeffries and Lamont Lovett in Manhattan. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, coming to you live from Corbett's. Looking at a big sign that says Sunday Brunch Corbett Style Bottomless Mimosos. $20 per person. Mimosas.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get that right. A mimosa on any day. Doesn't have to be Sunday. A mimosa on any day is a good day for me. I like orange juice, so I'm all about that. All right, so come here Sunday and get you a bottomless mimosa. It is David Kelly along with Kelvin Ifan and the tight end Glenn Howe. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is getting you closer to kickoff. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rockin' KA Master Plan Community designed by nature, University Termite and Pest Control, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
As coach of the Wildcats, I know the importance of teamwork. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Is your AC system more than 10 years old and costing you too much in repairs? Beat the heat, call Right Way. Get a new system with 10-year parts warranty, 10-year labor warranty, and 60 months no-interest financing. Make replacing easier on your wallet. Call today.
Don't delay. Call or text 520-657-0699. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Joel McHale, live.
It was colder in Winnipeg than it was on Mars. What did the people of Winnipeg do when it was colder there than Mars differently? Nothing. They sent their kids to school. They were just like, run!
As seen on Netflix, Friday, October 18th, 8 p.m., Diamond Center at Desert Diamond Casino Sahuarita. Tickets on sale now at the Reward Center or online at etix.com. Don't miss Joel McHale, live.
Cool Willie's
1 minute out, 1 minute.
Big Guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Sean, for
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
if you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? At Jack Furriers, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires. And right now, we've got more rebates
10 seconds out
than ever. Now's the time to buy. Check out jackfurriers.com for all the details. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
Difference of 5 yards. Ismail Mahdi in the backfield. That's who they give it to on first down. Mahdi creases one up the middle. The ball's on the turf. Arizona State recovers. 3rd and 11. Quick snap. McLeod taking a shot. Has a receiver. And it's intercepted.
Jordan McLeod almost did it.
Forgot about him.
Yeah, he's
last night. The former Arizona Wildcat trying to beat his old rivals from Arizona State. Jordan McLeod. How many schools is that for him now? At least 4?
Yeah. I wonder how good he would have been if he wouldn't have got hurt.
Yeah, if he hadn't got hurt.
Yeah, if he wouldn't have got hurt, man, he would have been. I thought he would have been good.
31-28 the final. Sun Devils got the win last night. Jordan McLeod finished that game 29 of 44, 268 yards. He threw 4 touchdowns, but he did throw that late interception that you heard right there to allow the Sun Devils to seal the victory. They are now 3-0 on the season behind the transfer quarterback Sam Levitt. who went 19 of 30, 246 yards. He had a touchdown interception.
Where is he from?
I'm not sure. I think he was at Michigan State, but I'm not sure exactly where he's from in terms of.
No, I mean
his
he was
hometown.
he transferred from Michigan State.
I believe, yeah, he's from West Lynn, Oregon. He was at Michigan State last year through only 23 passes for them last season. Let's update you on your scoreboard today.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The College Football Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
All right, so guys, you think, surprising, I think, that Arizona State is 3-0. Road win at a very difficult Texas State. They were favorite in that game by 2.5, but they didn't. They won by 3, so they were the favorite there. Pounded a Mississippi State team that beat the Wildcats in successive years, both at home and away. Are the Sun Devils better than maybe we thought they were?
Well, they had a good mantra going into nobody respects us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good motivating thing to have. That they were picked. Where were they picked? Last?
Yes,
last.
They picked us.
16th.
Picked last. Yeah, 16th.
16th.
So that that's a great motivator. So good and bad for them.
Good and bad. There you go. Only one other game tonight on the schedule besides Arizona and Kansas State. That'll be UNLV at Kansas. This actually should be a really good game as well. Jalen Daniels and the Jayhawks. Jaden has thrown 4 interceptions through 2 games this season to go along with 3 touchdown passes. UNLV has finally found themselves a football program. At least the makings of a football program after years of perpetuity.
Yeah, and just think if they do have get a program, if they get a good program and you recruit to go to Las Vegas, you're going to go play in Vegas.
And with NIL now, seems like they should be able to make some things happen.
I know, with some casino
they should be able to make something happen.
Other games on the schedule this weekend. Obviously, those are the only 2 games tonight. Bunch of games tomorrow. Colorado's got to go up to Fort Collins after coming off a loss at Nebraska last week. How much is this a must-win?
Must win.
The Buffaloes.
Must win, or they're packing their Louis.
Oh boy,
they're gonna be packing their Louis, and they're gonna be getting out. Shit.
Travis Hunter, 17 catches, 242 yards on the season. Shedeur Saunders has thrown 5 touchdowns, but he's also thrown a pair of interceptions, including a pick 6. A lot of, rivalry games this weekend on the lower levels. Utah and Utah State. They'll play in Logan, so the Utes going on the road to take on Utah State. You've got Rice against Houston this weekend at the TDECO Stadium. I believe that's where the Texans play. So that'll be an interesting game there as well. Other games of note, the big rivalry between, I'm not sure what the actual name of this rivalry is, but West Virginia-Pittsburgh. They play that game every year in the Steelers Stadium in Pittsburgh, which is now called Acrisure Stadium. The Panthers are 2-0 to start the season, so things turning around for them. So a lot of rivalry action happening around the Big 12, or at least involving Big 12 teams today. Want to note last night in soccer, the Arizona Wildcat women lost their Big 12 opener, the first ever game in the Big 12 for a Wildcat school. They went over to Utah and fell 1-0 in that game, so the ladies fall to 5-2-1 on the season. Volleyball is at a tournament down in Texas this weekend. They've got 2 games today. They've already played 1 this morning against Abilene Christian. 3-0 winners for the Wildcats, who are now, I believe, 7-0 to start the season. Their best start since they last went to the Sweet 16 in 2016. So after only winning 8 games last year in Sharita Stubbs' first year, they've already got 7 in year 2.
Yeah, don't they have the #1 recruit in the country?
Yeah, Carly Cisneros.
Yep.
And she has definitely changed the game there for the Arizona Wildcats, a 6-rotation player who really has been the glue, a freshman who's the glue of the team so far in the early going. And
that's the same thing when they brought in Whitney Dostey.
Yeah.
You know, those girls that come in, they're very highly touted and outside hitters and stuff. They could change a program.
Well, Kane, you mentioned Whitney Dostie. Shout out to Whitney for being a part of the gold medal-winning Paralympic sitting volleyball team over in Paris this past week. I believe that's the second gold medal that she has won with that outfit. Whitney has a fused ankle. So she suffered a number of injuries as a professional player over in Europe, and so she has a fused ankle, which allows her to compete as a disabled player on the United States sitting volleyball team, which can't be easy out of South Point Catholic High School. But she has really excelled at that as a member of Team USA, and again winning a gold medal.
Trained her in high school.
Yes.
Yeah, and
she was one of my originals when I first got here.
She's a phenomenal
Arizona.
athlete. You know, being a dancer. She was a ballet dancer. She had great balance, everything. I mean, just phenomenal. When Dave Rubio got her, he was ecstatic of how good of an athlete she was.
Sister wasn't a bad athlete either. Played basketball at a number of schools, Tennessee and Arizona State. As well. So
Sybil.
Sybil Dostie. Absolutely. All right, before we get we're going to hear from we're talking in the last segment about Owen Goss, who had to come in last week for Dalton Johnson due to injury. We're going to hear from Owen straight ahead. But before we get to Owen, let's pause 15 seconds here for station identification. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Along with Kelvin Ifan and Glenn Howe, my name is David Kelly, coming to you from Corbett's off 4th Avenue here in Tucson.
Is it 6th?
No, it's off 4th.
Oh,
right
it's
there.
off 4th.
Off 4th Avenue. That's their mantra.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was 6th.
No, that's 4th Avenue. Now, this they may be on 6th.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this street is here we're on. We'll have to get the direction. But they are off 4th Ave, since that's the main street that goes down through this district. And that's where we're going to be for every single one of our road games this year. We'll be out here. So stop on by. If you want to watch Arizona, you can stay here. You can join us, and then you can watch the game. They've got 38 televisions throughout the complex. They got a big screen here in the courtyard, which also doubles as the beer garden, and so plenty of beers to be had as you can settle in and watch the Wildcats take on Kansas State tonight. All right, we're talking about Owen Goss, a transfer from Colgate who got into the game and played some significant minutes, significant plays after the injury to Dalton Johnson last Saturday night in a 22-to win over NAU. And Owen talked about how he got to Tucson to play here at Arizona.
It was kind of a crazy situation. I actually got contacted by Coach Crowley, I want to say in like May. And I had already kind of been back at Colgate. I did spring ball there. He told me the situation here, and Coach Arce and Aquino did, and kind of just thought it was in my best interest, my family's interest to, come to Arizona.
What was the selling point for you to come out to Arizona?
Just an opportunity to compete. I knew coming in, obviously, got a ton of experience in the defensive back room. Jen got a ton of time last year. You got Gunn, Dalt, Bobo, Stooks, they're all great players. So, one, I would say, obviously, I can compete with them and see where I stack up. And obviously the dollar package, that's like another big thing that I know I'm going to be able to get an opportunity to get on the field and showcase my skills. And, yeah, like I said, just being around an elite group of defensive backs like this only makes you better. And it makes, I think, the whole room better when everyone's competing. So that was a big selling point for me.
Owen, what have you noticed in terms of the difference in athletes, size, speed, etc., from Colgate to here?
I think, obviously, there's going to be bigger athletes. Everyone's a lot lengthier. That's the biggest thing that kind of jumped out to me is just the length. Speed as well. I feel like not necessarily individual players speed-wise, but just like the speed of the game, how everything hits. The pullers pulling is quicker. The quarterback, like his reading through the progressions is quicker, so you know it's going to happen. Just everything's going to happen quicker. But yeah, and then obviously the trenches is different. You got Big Joe, and he's huge. When I came up here, he's a big dude. You don't really see that much unless you're playing we got a few of them, but just not as much as here.
Owen, what was life like in Hinsdale, Illinois?
Yeah, Hinsdale, yeah.
Tell us about your childhood, where you come from.
So yeah, I come from Hinsdale, Illinois. It's a little western suburb of Chicago. You know, I got 3 brothers, 1 twin actually. So shoot, growing up was just competitive, uber competitive. Hinsdale Central, the high school I went to, is a really good program too. We got a ton of talent. I think we've got like 4 or 5 active NFL players right now. So it's just the community's big on sports.
10 seconds.
So I guess that was kind of the center point of growing up, is just football and sports and competing, especially with my older brothers too.
Yeah, well, I mean, you grew up in a family with a bunch of brothers. That we've heard that story many times in the past, whether it was Rob Gronkowski or some other Wildcats who've come through here. That starts your competitive juices very early on.
Yeah, I'm a big brother of 3, and it was my job to make sure I gave them the example. So yeah, and they couldn't beat me. I never let them win because I knew if they could battle with me, high school and college would be a breeze, and it was for those guys.
Yeah, and my brother was 3 years older than me, so he used to take me. The guys that he would have problems with, they're 3 years older than me. He had me fighting because he wanted to make me tough.
Right.
So I had to go fight. I had to go fight those dudes, and I said, "Okay, all right, that's good."
Sean Elliott's going to be on. Sean Elliott's going to be on our show on Monday. He's in town this weekend for a charity golf tournament for St. Luke's, and I was talking to him the other day, and he was just telling me about his brother. And how his big brother, who is at St. Luke's, how he used to come out and push them around to toughen them up. Him and his brother Noel. Most people know about Sean's brother Noel, who he donated the kidney to, but it was his older brother was the one that really, he says, would be the one that would bang with them underneath the basket when they were playing hoops in the courtyards.
Yeah, brothers are always the greatest inspiration, you know? They're always the brothers that are inspiration to all of us. I mean, they really, you know, my brother, my oldest brother too, Vince, who was a Marine. He went to the Marines, and he was just I always looked up to him because he served in the military. You know, so it's something that you always look up to, and they always make you tougher. That's all I gotta say.
Absolutely, no question about that. Hey, and also I mentioned that golf tournament. It's the annual Golf for the Ages tournament happening tomorrow out at Del Lago Golf Club in Vail. If you want to get out there, tickets are $50, and you need to have a ticket in order to have a chance to get the raffle. And I think that's kind of one of those situations where Sean's going to play with pretty much every group. He may be playing like a whole or taking shots with every single group. So you have a chance to get out there and play some golf with a legend of U of A basketball.
Great guy.
Sean Elliott. And also we were mentioning Whitney Dostie. We want to obviously mention her father also played, the late Robbie Dostie, played basketball as well at the University of Arizona from 1977 to 1981, passed away of cancer a couple years ago.
Unbelievable jumper.
Yeah?
Unbelievable jumper. I used to see him at the TAC League.
Oh, wow.
Tucson Athletic Club.
Right?
Up on the east. Just tomahawk guys.
Absolutely. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back here, and we'll have much more coming up for you. Captain's Corner, Manua Savea from 1999. Started, I believe, like 2 consecutive seasons at right tackle for the Arizona Wildcats. He will join us. It's Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. I'm David Kelly, along with Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howe. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
The College Football Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
Come out to Dave & Buster's, the best place outside of the stadium to see the games this football season. Monday and Thursday, get all-you-can-eat wings with game card for $19.99. Sunday, get in on the chance to win a big game watch party at Dave & Buster's in front of the big screen, plus other big prizes and weekly winners. Join them now through October 22nd, all day, every day. They'll be offering $5 22-ounce drafts only at Dave & Buster's. Make Dave & Buster's your place to watch the games.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires. And right now, we've got more rebates and savings than ever. Now's the time to buy. Check out jackfurriers.com for all the details. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Make the right choice for your home when it comes to windows and doors. For more than 20 years, the Window Depot has provided the best price and biggest inventory on in-stock windows and doors. The Window Depot is open to the public, so whether you're a homeowner or a contractor, you can shop the enormous warehouse. Browse the shelves with over 1,000 vinyl windows, interior and patio doors, and skylights in several varieties and sizes available to go home today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot. Best price, biggest inventory.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Hey homeowners, are you ready to chill out and go green? Goodfellas Air Conditioning can help. Introducing our latest lineup of energy-efficient systems featuring the new R32 refrigerant. It's cooler, greener, and better for the planet. You'll enjoy lower energy bills and a smaller carbon footprint. Not a fan of change? Goodfellas has a surplus of reliable R410 systems available. Unsure about what system you have or have questions? Give us a call for a free inspection. Goodfellas Air Conditioning, keeping it cool, keeping it green, and always keeping you comfortable.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan. Gather up, Wildcats fans. It's time to hear from our captain. It's time for our pregame speech. Captain's Corner is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. And now, here is the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
Welcome into this week's edition of the Captain's Corner, presented by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. I'm Kelvin Ifan. Our guest today is Manu Savea, a right tackle from the class of 1999 here at the U of A. Manu, how you doing, brother?
How you doing, Cap? You know, I always call my man Captain. I'm doing real good, though, Kevin.
Oh, man, great, man. So first things first, man, tell us, how's the family doing? I always like to check in on the family. How's the family doing out in Kansas?
Man, to be honest with you, Kevin, we can't complain. The family is doing well. The family is doing real good, and thank you for asking. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. So one of the things I want to talk to you about is that we have first things first. How did you get recruited here? What made you come to U of A? I know you came from junior college. What was what ended up making you want to come to the University of Arizona?
I'm not going to lie to you, though. There was two things, though, and the two things. And then, first of all, it was thanks to Mark, Coach Mark Lunsford. Mark Lunsford was my recruiter then, and you know how the recruiting program go, recruiting process go. During our time, pick the 5 colleges you want to go. I went to the Midwest first, out south, out in the West Coast first, and then when I landed in Tucson in the middle of the winter, and it was 70-some degrees, though, Kevin, I'm not going to lie to you. I was like, Coach, this is where I'm going. Forget about the other 2 visits. This is where I'm going. I love it in the middle of the winter, and it's 70 degrees. And then as my recruiter, through my time, going through the process on those couple of days I was there, I learned a lot about Coach Tomey and the culture that he was building, and plus the Polynesian community that he was creating, in Tucson, Arizona, under the University of Arizona. Those are probably the most 2 important things, that the reason why I chose Arizona though over any other college that I was thinking about.
So tell me a little bit about your relationship with Coach Dickey. I know how important he was to you. I know he's a guy, Glenn was saying earlier, he just absolutely loved you. And also Coach Tomey. I want you to speak on Coach Dickey first, and then add in Coach Tomey for me.
Yeah. How you doing, my brother Glenn?
What's happening? Yeah, what's happening, my brother?
My brother Cat.
Yeah.
First of all, I will talk about Coach Dickey. Coach Dickey, I always think, I was always my second father. I was my second father. Everything, anybody that played or been around Coach Dickey knows Coach Dickey, a very family man, very Christian man, and the thing I learned about Coach Dickey, though, was the way he treated his players and the way he took care of his players. Not only, that, but the way he talked to them. He talked to them as players, and then on the other side of the field, outside of the field, man, he talked to them like man, and that's what I learned about Coach Dickey, and the way our offensive line, that, it's like, it all depends on what day of the week we're playing. I swear to you, though, where Coach Dickey always have a dinner for us one of those days during the week. It's a bond that he created for our offensive linemen, and that's the reason why we're so tight and play as a team, when we get on the field. And I like to share that because as a coach right now, as an offensive line coach for high school, I carry on that tradition, from Coach Dickey. I have we have Friday night games, as you know, in high school. I have all my O-line and some of the offensive players at the house, and I cook for them, That's just nothing about football. It's just the camaraderie and, build that relationship with each other, though. But Coach Tomey, though, I don't know if you guys know the story. The minute that I landed in Tucson for my visit, Coach Mark Lunsford took me straight to Coach Tomey's house. He shook my hand, and he told me there's a table. He was moving a big old dining room table in his house. He shook my hand, and then he told me there's a dining room table. I'm glad you came on time. That was the first time I met Coach Tomey. So just from that, and then Kevin, the way Coach Tomey is, though. Just from that, I felt that love. I felt the respect, and I felt that Polynesian culture, that he was trying to create. Because that's how I was growing up. You shake your hand, you welcome, and then, hey, sorry, we got to go pick up something here and there and there. So that was the love that I got from Coach Tomey, and he was always he was always a father figure for all of us. You know, everybody has a different story about that guy, but you know, the thing about him is he loves you. He'll coach you hard, but he'll love you harder. You know, that's one thing I learned about Coach Tony.
Yeah, no, man, I love the family atmosphere that Coach had. He was a second father to me as well, as you know. You know how Coach was about me. So, the other thing I say is we played on a 12-1 team here at Arizona, and I thought the number one thing that we had was the togetherness in the family. Tell me some of the reasons why you thought that we were successful with that 12-1 year, which I believe, and I think everybody else agree with me, is the best year in Arizona football history.
It is, and no doubt, though. There's only one word I can give you, though, Kevin. It's team. Remember, Coach always talk about it's always a team. The team, the team, the team, the team. And everything about that team, though, the reason why we were so close together, and first of all, it starts from you guys. It starts from our captain. You know, with Kevin, with Tron Candidate, with Chris McAllister that was there, too. And that's with all different type of culture. You know, we all came from different backgrounds. But, man, when Coach Tomey talked about the word team, we were all one. As we know as football, offense, defense, special team. We never had that feeling, though, as a team. No. When we walk on that field, it's a team. When the defense was on there, it's the offense that was on there also. When the offense was on there, it was, you know what I'm talking about, though. And that's the camaraderie that we build, you know, from Coach Tomey, and especially, you know, with our captains that, you know, Kevin, I know I'm not going to lie to you. That's why I love you as a brother, man. You were probably one of the hardest captains that, you know, I ever met, because you were real about stuff that needs to be happening on the field and also off the field. And as you know, too, though, even off the field, man, we were doing stuff, you know, together. Everybody was doing everything together, you know, and then that translates onto the field on Friday nights and Saturday evenings, Saturday afternoons and stuff. So, and then the belief in one another, though. We always believe that we can do anything that we wanted to do. And then the belief in individual, that I believe that I can help my man next to me. I can help my brother next to me when we go battle. So those are the things that, you know, I always take it in with me, and, you know, and I think that's the reason why we were very successful that year, you know, become 12-1. You know, it's because of the belief in one another, and that word team, you know, is more than just those four letters. Yes, sir. There's a lot of stuff that you can accumulate together just to build that word team during that year for us.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that I love about this team. I see a lot of those same type of attributes. And now we got, you know, a lot of the Coach Tomey guys back around here now, a lot of the coaches that coached with us, you know, when we were here. And they try to bring a little bit back with Jed Fish, you know, with a lot of the players that they brought. So it just feels good seeing that type of environment back around here, because I know that had a lot to do with our success. Tell me also, what was one of the games that stand out to you that really tell you about what type of team we was going into that 12-1 year? To me, it was the UCLA game that we lost, because
exactly.
Yes.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Yes.
That when we lost that game at UCLA, we never turned back, ain't it? You know, if you remember, when we lost that game, we were still grinding. We came back, you know, the following week. We were grinding because there was a goal. There was always a goal that, you know, ahead of us, though. But we learned a lot from that game, you know. And even when we lost that game, Kev, I don't know if you know, when I was together with my offensive lineman in the locker room, I just feel like we didn't lose the game. You know, that's just the way we felt.
Yes.
We felt like, you know, we left a lot of stuff that, you know, on that field that we should have go our way, you know, but, you know, it is what it is. But after that game, you know, you look back after the games after that game, man, we were very dominant, you know, like that game taught us a lesson, and, you know, and then brought us more together as a group, even though we were. But, you know, like I said, you're always going to learn something every week. You learn something every week, and then whatever it is that bring you together, and that's what it is. That loss brought us more tight and more, what you call more as a group. That's the game that I was thinking about it too.
Yeah, man. I always go back and look at that game because that's the game I remember the most, the one we lost. I ain't gonna lie. And when I go back and look at that game and see how the character that we had after that, and we went week after week, we could have easily, some of the Arizona teams in the past, probably go up and down after that. But it seemed like we just came more together and really was a family and really made that happen. And speaking of family, we have several Polynesian players on this team, and for a little while there, we kind of got away from that, and we have a lot of those guys on the team now. And tell me how you feel about those guys being back on the program.
And man, I love it though. Even though I'm over here in Kansas City, I'm not good. I talk about it every time. I talk to a lot of the Polynesian kids here. I talk to even our own high school kids here. I talk to them. I love that they're bringing the culture back. And I'll give you an example. Maybe my thought will be wrong, but this is just me. I'll give you an example with Fita and McMillan. What they did, that just showed me how the character of the Polynesian culture is. The loyalty and the faith that they have for the school and the program. When they decided to come back, I was like, man, I am so glad that there's players right now that totally understand that. But I really believe it was not only them either, though. I believe, it give credit to their parents, the way they raised them and then understand that part. But I understand, Kev, you know that. Yes. It was from Texas, it was from California, and it was from the island. Right. Those are the biggest players recruit for Arizona. And then I hope we stick with that. We go back and recruit that because, I can only speak for the Polynesian. Yes, we came long ways. The thing about the Polynesian, though, it don't matter where you go, where you play, or what type of sports you play. It's always that love and the family, though. Mm-hmm. It's always love and the family that's always going to carry with them. And that was something that I loved when I was there. Playing with my brother Ed Muritalo, with the Manmaleunga, Manmaleunga there and stuff. Just with Stephen Grace, from Hawaii, and then plus all the other players, When the thing about it though, I'm not gonna. When the thing about it though, I know we talk about the Polynesian culture, during that time, but it was everybody. Yes, it don't matter what background that you came from. But it was just the way Coach Tomey, approached everything during that time. He was all one culture, though. It was all one culture. We put the mix of culture together and make it work, to have that word team. That word team was a powerful word, from Coach Tomey, though. And I'm glad. And then I hope, just speaking for the culture alone, I hope we keep that. I hope, some of our Polynesian kids coming up understand what Coach Tomey was building in Arizona during his time. And I know when Jet Fish was there, he tried to bring that back now. Man, I give it up to Coach Brennan. He's carrying that. He's carrying that culture. What Coach Tomey was creating. And I can see. I watched a lot of games last year. I watched, only a few games this year. I can see the toughness in them right now, okay? I know it's only been a couple games, but I really do hope, that they will stick together, and have that toughness in them, throughout the whole season.
My newest surveyor is our guest in the Captain's Corner, brought to you by Jack Ferrier Tire and Auto. Jack Ferrier since 1960. We're here to get you there. The O-line has a new coach. Tell the people how much time that it takes for just a new coach to get acclimated with his new players. And we have a few guys that are down. And so just tell the people how much time it takes for the offensive line kind of to come together.
It takes a lot of time, though, and I'm not going to lie to you, Kay. It's just like what I told you. It's not only just on the field. it's off the field. You know, when you do stuff together, you build that trust in them. You know, those are the things that you carry with you during practice days, you know, from Monday to Thursday, Monday to Friday, you play Saturday. So that's a lot of time to build that trust, build that camaraderie into an offensive lineman, and especially a new coach. You know, also the new coach coming in, you know, now you're trying to get acclimated on a different type of culture all these kids are from. You know, not only that, is trying to figure out his routine to make sure that these kids are playing together as a group. But, you know, like I said, it's not only just on campus. It's off campus, off the field, that you have to do stuff together as a group. I remember summertime, you know, a lot of us will go home on the summer. Majority of our O-line stay.
Yeah, no, we
Majority
stay.
of our O-line stay,
Yes,
and
sir.
we work.
Yeah.
We work just to build that. You know, we work just to build that bond, build that camaraderie, build the trust next to each other. So when game time comes, man, we didn't even have no doubt that the man next to you will have your back.
Yes, sir. And I just want to say, R.I.P. to our guy, Big Yusuf Scott, man. That was our guy right there. I mean, and I'm just hearing you talk about the line, thinking about it just made me think about the big fella, man. You know, love running behind him, man. Tell me a little bit. I think of Wendell Moore. We have the big fella. We have Wendell Moore. I think of Yusuf when I think of him. And then also tell me a little bit about what you think about Big Jonas Savanea.
Yeah, so, you know, and you hit it right on the head, because those guys, when I watch them play, you know, and I'm pretty sure they're pretty quiet guys. But, boy, the toughness that comes with them, you know, between the lines,
yes,
that is something that it reminds me of Yusuf. You all know Yusuf, though. We all know Yusuf, though, okay?
Pancake man.
Yusuf doesn't say much. Yeah, Yusuf doesn't say much. But, man, when it comes between the lines, man, that guy was tougher as nails. You know, it was so good, you know, between the lines.
Yes, sir. Well, hey, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you got to get to your football game. I promised to get you out of there at 30, so I think we right on there at 4:30. So I think we right on. You over there in the Midwest. So our thanks to Arizona 1999 tackle Manua Savea for joining us this week in the Captain's Corner.
Kevin, thank you very much. So I appreciate the invitation. Always remember, you know, it's a Wildcat playing against another Wildcat tonight. There's only one true Wildcat in the country, though. That's Arizona. Remember that.
Yes, sir. Bear down, brother.
Bear down, baby.
And that's your Captain's Corner with Kelvin Efon. Captain's Corner is brought to you by Jack Furrier Tire and Auto. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is getting you closer to kickoff. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community designed by nature, University Termite and Pest Control, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
As coach of the Wildcats, I know the importance of teamwork. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Is your AC system more than 10 years old and costing you too much in repairs? Beat the heat, call Right Way. Get a new system with 10-year parts warranty, 10-year labor warranty, and 60 months no-interest financing. Make replacing easier on your wallet. Call today.
Don't delay. Call or text 520-657-0699. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. If you're driving right now, you may not be thinking about your tires, but chances are they've been tested before. Like that time you swerved to avoid the stray shopping cart that rolled into the street from nowhere? At Jack Furrier's, we've helped Arizona drivers navigate these extreme moments for over 60 years with the right tires. And right now, we've got more rebates and savings than ever. Now's the time to buy. Check out jackfurriers.com for all the details. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, here to get you there.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard, the driveway needs filling in, or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Wildcat Nation, are you ready?
Touchdown, Arizona, Gunnar Maldonado. Noah straight back to throw. Got him in. Hot touchdown, Arizona. He's sacked by Jacob Manu. And it's picked off. Trayton Stukes. Nobody close to Tetaroa McMillan.
Let's go. Bear down, Cats. Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We're getting closer to kickoff for today's Arizona football game. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Merritt back in as the running back. Fafita under center. And he'll hand off. Krosky, big hole. He's to the 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Arizona.
That line just parted on the left side, and Krosky Merritt exploded through there. And that's the way you finish out a game. Arizona in the fourth quarter and the third quarter have run the ball very effectively and pretty much put this one away, I think, with that one there.
So, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, the former Lobo, scores against his former team, puts the Wildcats up 61-39 with 2:24 to go.
Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt not expected to play tonight for your Arizona Wildcats in this game, so he'll miss a second straight game due to the eligibility issues. Time now for DK with BB, sponsored by nobody. So let's find out from the head coach if we have anything new on Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt's situation.
It's where it was when I talked to you guys Saturday night.
And in terms of, you changed punters this past weekend as well. What went into giving Forbes more of an opportunity, and what did you see from him because he got a lot more work, obviously, than Salgado needed in the first week.
Yeah, I think that's going to be something that's going to continue to play out over time as we watch it. And so I don't know that decision's been made yet. We're going to see how practice goes.
Brent, the exuberance you showed singing Bear Down with the team after the ball game, obviously a tough victory, maybe not the point spread victory that most people thought it would be, but what were you feeling in that moment that made you so exuberant about that win afterward?
For me, I'm not going to let anything on the outside take away from the joy of winning. And those moments are special, and they need to be celebrated and enjoyed by everybody. Yeah. We can fix the stuff we need to fix later, but in that moment with the team in the locker room, there's nothing like a locker room after a win. It's a really, really special place. And so we're going to enjoy the hell out of those when they happen.
Now, guys, we talked about that after the show on Saturday, just when we played the Bear Down video that they post after every single win, and just the exuberance that he was showing. And I wanted to just kind of find out from Brent what he was feeling in that moment after the game. And he's absolutely right. He kind of mirrored what we talked about after the game. You celebrate every win in this game, no matter whether it's a 40, 50-point win or whether it's a 1 or 2 point win, you celebrate them all.
And whether it's against NAU, Nebraska, Notre Dame. I don't care who it's against. A win
college football
is a win.
game.
You only get 12.
Yes.
Again, I say it like basketball. It's not 40 games.
Yeah.
This is 12 games.
Yep. Every single win is a victory, and a victory is needed to be celebrated. And anybody that was talking about, you just beat NAU, so what? That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's a dub.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Those are the people that don't understand winning.
And you're trying you're trying to build a culture.
Yeah.
You're trying to build a culture. You want your guys to be excited about football. You heard him kept saying they're trying to bring football guys that love football. So regardless of who you play, a guy that loves football is gonna celebrate a victory.
Absolutely. This is a Friday night game. We don't play a lot of Friday night games. This will be one of two that the Arizona Wildcats will play this season. The next one will be in November. It'll be at home. There's a lot of folks that don't necessarily like to see college football on Friday nights. Friday nights has always been about high school football across the United States, and it really kind of, when you really start to think, it doesn't matter, the game, but there is a huge game happening here in southern Arizona tonight, and if you have a chance to get out, you should definitely get over the mountain to Marana, because Philip Stewart is doing a fantastic job with that program over there. They're off to a 2-0 start. They knocked off South Point Catholic in week 1, and they get the defending champions from Higley tonight here in southern Arizona. A chance to see one of the best teams in Conference 5A coming down. Marana's got a test on their hands, but I know Philip Stewart's guys will be up to the test. They've got one of the best players in the state of Arizona, not just southern Arizona, but the state of Arizona, in wide receiver Desmond Roebuck. I don't know if you guys saw, I posted a video last week. He made an unbelievable catch at the back of the end zone with about 3 guys covering him. He's not a very big kid, but really knows how to catch the football.
Yeah, man, I've been watching him for a while, and I've seen him make at least 50 of those catches. I mean, this kid is amazing, man. Know his dad. His dad was a basketball coach out there. So yeah, man, this kid is just a football player, man. And I think he's going to Washington. End up committing to Washington. So hey, if it don't work out down there,
exactly.
Up there, you always can come back home, buddy.
This looks like it's a change of the guard in high school football here. Too.
Oh, yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
We're ready to say that.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's going to be a change of the guard.
I'm going to say this. Do you think that Roebuck, so when he leaves, you still think it's going to be this way?
Yeah, I think that they have some kids over there. Okay. They got some kids over there. Toby Bourget's, with this little flag football league. I've changed my mind on flag football now. It's a little bit, they're developing some kids, man. They're developing some kids.
Yeah, the next wave of the Bourget boys, the 2 young ones, are going to be coming through that program. And Desmond's brother is, I believe, a sophomore, and he's a fine young player up and coming as well. So they'll continue, like you said, They'll continue to put some kids up there, and they got a Texas-style coach. I call it the most Texas-style outpost here in southern Arizona, because you go over that mountain and you see the lights, and it's really the only thing you can see for miles.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go over there to Marana High School, and Philip Stewart, a Texas-born guy, played collegiately and had a cup of coffee in training camp for the National Football League, and he's done a phenomenal job with that program since taking over for Luis Ramirez. And I don't know if we mentioned on the show a couple weeks ago the sad passing of Luis Ramirez, and then last week losing Bryson Berrios, who had played at both Ironwood Ridge and Push Ridge Christian. I know he played with a number of the kids that you have trained over there. Just an exciting young running back who wasn't very big, but played with a lot of heart. You know, when you think about guys, we were talking about Owen Goss early. Bryson Berrios was a kid who kind of reminds me a lot of an Owen Goss type player. Just maybe didn't have the size to play at the next level, but definitely had the heart to play the game.
Yeah, you can't measure a kid's heart by his size. There's a lot of kids that I know, just the guy I play with, Sweet D, smallest guy, always told everybody at meetings that he was the biggest guy in the room. Okay? I go, you must be looking at a circus mirror or something. but it's like, come on, Sweet D. Come on now.
You gotta have that unreal confidence.
Yeah, you do. And he had the confidence.
All right, let's tell you about what's coming up for the remainder of this show for the next 45 minutes.
Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show, brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, straight ahead, we'll have our pest of the game. We'll have our scouting report of the Kansas State Wildcats, as we'll hear from their head coach, Chris Kleinman, their quarterback, Avery Johnson, as well as keys to the game and best bets as well. We told you it was a 7-point spread tonight, and your Arizona Wildcats are on the giving end of that. I mean, the getting end of that, I should say, is they'll get the 7 points. Your over-under on this one tonight is at 61. So we'll let you know where we come in on that. Still straight ahead. It's Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Stop on down to Corbett's here off of 4th Ave. That's just where we're going to be for every single road game this season. Kelvin Efon, Glenn Howe, I'm David Kelly, J.W. Madden running the controls. Back in the CNWT, you are listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football continues. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, Drain Medics, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, the Injury Lawyers, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Police Department, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
The Window Depot is more than a window store. The Window Depot is a one-stop warehouse with everything you need for your complete home remodel. Shop the aisles of pre-built cabinets in a variety of colors, granite and quartz countertops, sinks, skylights, and hardware to complete your project. Need a custom order? We can help. Our designers offer free design services and can special order everything you need for your kitchen or bathroom remodel today. Shop thewindowdepot.com or find a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic offers military discounts to retired and disabled veterans, and they now accept patients with excess insurance. For more information and to find the location nearest you, visit firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
It's not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Experiencing
DK, we got 30 seconds.
comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders.
10 seconds, DK, 10 seconds.
Special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
Mario Williams in motion. Back to the left he goes. There's the snap. Wanting to throw, the quarterback under some pressure. He is going to loses the football. K-State picks it up, and here they go. Fabris, 30. He's at the 20. 10-5 touchdown. Jack Fabris.
Jack Fabris, he is a redshirt freshman out of Bogart, Georgia. Had a big defensive play for the Kansas State Jayhawks last Saturday as they went down south and beat Tulane in a game that was not very easy for them either. So both of these teams coming off games against non-FBS teams that were very difficult for them, and it was a win for Kansas State, 24-17, as they come in here with a record of 2-0 as well. The Wildcats. Chris Kleiman is the head coach for your Kansas State Jayhawks. He likes his linebacker on the inside by the name of Austin Romaine. Let's hear from Chris Kleiman on Austin Romaine.
Kid that played as a true freshman and was kind of out there learning what he was doing and studied in the offseason. Hung around Austin more and learned a lot about how you study, and is playing really at an all-conference level, and is a terrific linebacker, becoming a great communicator, and our kids really trust him out there. He's playing really high level.
Sophomore out of Hillsboro, Missouri, had a couple of sacks in that win, also forced a fumble in that game last Saturday, the win over Tulane. We mentioned Avery Johnson at the top of the show. He is the quarterback, a quarterback kind of out of that mold of what we saw in week one with Devin Dampier for New Mexico. Avery Johnson on how he assesses his performance through the first 2 games of the season.
I still think I have a lot of room to grow and a lot of improvement to be made. Week 1 was very average for me, very average week. And then Week 2, I felt like I made steps, but I look to make bigger strides as the season goes on, and especially from week 2 to 3, because that's where some of the biggest strides are made. Kind of been nailing it, and it's just run game, footwork, and carrying out my fakes to maybe hold a guy here or there, and then my RPO footwork, because whenever I pull to pass on RPO games, it's really good, but whenever I give the ball, I kind of just sit there and watch everything that's going on in front of me, and you never know. I could hold a guy for half a second, and it could just give DJ enough time or Dylan enough time to make a play. So it's the little things that I really just need to clean up right now, and then whenever I do get a chance to make that home run play, just not missing on it. But, I mean, I'm still young. I still got a lot of improvement to make, but I feel like I'm still really confident in myself. And I mean, 2-0, 3-0 as a starter, so I'm confident where I'm at with my team.
Just the 5th sophomore to ever start a season opener at quarterback for Kansas State since 1990. Threw for 2 touchdowns in that game over Tulane. Ran the ball 8 times for 40 yards. Brent Brennan knows he's dangerous.
You know, I think the difference is that I think Avery's more of a complete player. He's got real arm talent, and then he's faster. Like, he's ridiculously explosive.
So he was comparing him, guys, to Devin Dampier. Yeah. Better arm, faster than Devin Dampier.
Yeah, this kid, we gotta. If he runs, we gotta make him pay for it. You know, that's the thing that we have to do with this guy. You can't let him get loose. He's good, like he said. He's actually a really good reader of when he needs to pull that thing. You know, it's important that he wants to, get that read, and we have to be able to keep that edge and make sure that he makes that read right and not let us go inside. We got to set that edge on these guys and not do like we did on the first game against New Mexico.
To me, the most important thing when you're playing an option quarterback is to hit him.
Yes.
Hit him every time. He's a runner. He's a live guy. Let's hit him. Let's wear him down so in the fourth quarter he has no legs, which will affect his passing game.
All right, another guy to keep an eye on is a guy we saw a few years ago play for the Colorado Buffaloes, Dylan Edwards, and he had a big ball game at the end in Tulane.
Cats needing 7 to tie it and moving quite well at the moment. Dylan Edwards in the game. He'll get the call here. Has a crease. 10-5. Pay dirt. Wildcat touchdown. Dylan Edwards makes it a 1-point game.
Dylan Edwards, 4 carries for 54 yards. That touchdown against Tulane, the Green Wave. And that's a guy that Chris Kleinman knows he's got to get more involved in this offense.
I think it's a combination of a couple things. One, we need to find ways to get him the football more. The second part of it is we are not on the field enough offensively. And last week was more the defense's fault that we were on the field for 55 plays. Typically, we're on the field for 70, 75 plays. The first 2 games, we've been at 55. We've got to get more plays because I'd like to see Avery with the ball more in his hands. I'd like to see Dylan with the ball more in his hands. I'd like to see what you guys like to see. Let's get the ball downfield to our wide receivers. Well, our sample size is so small, and the fact that we've had 55 plays in the first 2 games, we've got to get drives started so that we can get 70, 75 plays.
Well, these are both guys, and when you talk about Dylan Edwards, he can catch the ball out of the backfield, Dylan Edwards, and they've got another running back that they use primarily there as well by the name of LaJames White. He also can catch the ball out of the backfield. And then when you look at this offense as well, and I mentioned that they went to Tulane, a game that they only won by 7 points, and Chris Kleinman on the defensive side has not been real happy with the way that his defense has defended the pass, which makes this game tonight kind of problematic for him. He talked this week about having to deal with a wide receiver like Tetero McMillan.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. You watch him last year make plays. Game against New Mexico, he exploited every time they had a chance to go with him one-on-one. And those two are in sync. The quarterback and wide receiver are as in tune and have as good a chemistry as any two people that I've faced as far as wide receiver quarterback combination.
So guys, that's going to scare just about every team on the schedule when they see that cohesion between number 11 and number 4 coming at them.
Yeah, that's going to be for everybody. So they got to be able to have the other cohesion with number 5 and the other guys. That's the thing. And number 88. I mean they have to get that. As soon as we start getting the spreading the ball around, I think that's when T-Mac gets
really
loose.
Blow. Because what I'm gonna say, DK, is this: if you're playing other Division I teams, if they know you're just the one guy, I think you're pretty easy to cover. And I think that's a challenge that these guys want. I mean, you saw the guy from NAU last week. I mean, they were excited and hyped up to have that challenge. So the more guys that we can get involved in the passing game is only going to make T-Mac a better player.
You look at this roster for Kansas State, some familiar names on there. We've got a lot of guys on our team now out of Chandler. Trace Spivey, the son of Major League Baseball player Junior Spivey. I got a chance to know Junior towards the tail end of his career when I was still broadcasting baseball. He was a guy that U of A wanted on their team as well, but he made the decision to go to Kansas State, and he's starting to make some inroads in his second season. His first season really playing much, had 4 catches already this season. And I mentioned, actually, I misidentified the other running back for them, DJ Giddens, actually. I think I said James White, but DJ Giddens is the other running back that they have who, again, 2 guys that can both run the ball and catch the ball out of the backfield.
Yeah, and those guys can, we have to just do our assignments, man. It's assignment football. We can't have the penalties. Okay, that's the things we got to cut down. This has got to be a clean game. We have too many penalties the last 2 games. We got to cut that down. And then we can't give this team opportunities because of penalties on the offensive side of the ball. We don't want Avery Johnson to be getting a lot of opportunities. We want to make sure that we're just making sure that he's getting maybe 6-play drive, 7-play drive, and then get him out of there. Don't let them get into a rhythm.
Right.
They don't want to get them in a rhythm because we want to have ours. We're going to have to play takeaway from them. We got to run the ball tonight. And the winner's going to be the game. Like I could tell you right now, my keys
One
of the
of your
game.
keys?
Yeah, and my pest of the game. Pest of the game.
Well, we'll get to that in a second. Hold on.
I want to hold on to that, but I already
We're
know.
We're coming up on that here shortly.
I got quite a few pests, but we have to be able to run the ball today.
Yeah.
It's imperative that our offensive line is going to win the game tonight.
Well, and that's. I mean, we need a bounce back game from the offensive line because although they struggled mostly in pass protection.
Yes.
Last week, but like you said, if they're going forward and if they can get some success going forward early in this game, that's maybe gonna give some of those younger guys like Ryan Stewart's not a young guy, but a guy who's starting for the first time. But if Grayson Stovall has to go again tonight, that's gonna give those young guys some encouragement moving forward in the game.
And I just want to say one more thing about DJ Giddens and Dylan Edwards. I just wary about our linebackers against these guys one-on-one in passing. Once the receivers get downfield and they get the ball to these guys, swing routes and flat routes, I worry about tackling these guys in open space.
Especially Edwards.
Edwards and even DJ is very physical.
Yeah.
He's 212 pounds, 6'1" kid, physical runner, but has some elusiveness to himself too.
All right, before we get to our pests, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We have the Arizona Wildcats covered on game day like no one else. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Along with Kelvin Efon and Glenn Howell, my name is David Kelly. We are coming to you from Corbett's off 4th Avenue, getting you set for Arizona football. Arizona versus Kansas State tonight. Coming to you from Manhattan, Kansas. It'll be a 5 o'clock kickoff. Our coverage here for about another half hour with you. And then the network guys will take over. Brody Dryden and Kyle Quinn will have you from 3:30 to 5, leading you into the broadcast with Brian Jeffries and Lamont Lovett tonight. All right, let's identify that purple cat who is going to get underneath the skin today of your Red Cats.
Who is the pest the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game?
The Pest of the Game is brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. BePestFree.com.
All right, pests of the game. Who is going to cause problems for Arizona tonight in Manhattan, Kansas? We just talked about a laundry list of guys on both sides of the ball. So, Kelvin, Glenn, you've been chomping at the bit, so I'm going to let you go
My pest
first.
of the game is going to be their entire front four.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, front
front
defense.
four on their defense.
Defense, okay.
On their defense.
All right.
Okay. These guys will be creating a lot of havoc up in front, and it's going to be man on man. It's going to be macho on macho. This is going to win the game right here. It's their front four. We have to be able to handle them. They're moving all over the place. They're rush ends. They come hard at the edge, and we have to be able to protect Noah and keep him upright. And we have to be, and those are my pests. If we can beat them at the line of scrimmage, we can win this football game.
And those guys include defensive end Brendan Mott, Cody Stufflebean, Travis Bates, and then the guy in the middle, Damian Ilalilo, is out of Manhattan, Kansas, a native son. So those are the guys down front that Glenn is referring to that this offensive line is going to have to contend with tonight. Kelvin, who is your pest?
My pest is going to be DJ Giddings because that guy there, he's a tough runner. He's a guy that they get 100 yards a game from, and I believe that they're going to try to use him to control the clock to keep the ball out of Noah's hands. So I really think we're going to have to really stop DJ Giddens and from running the ball and from pass receiving the ball out the backfield.
Yeah, that's going to be important because they're going to swing it out. They're going to try to run. They run a bunch of stuff. They run screens. They run all kinds of stuff. So it's real important that we're able to make sure that they're up on their reads and on their coverages of what they're supposed to be doing on those plays.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to Kelvin went with DJ Giddings. I'm sorry, it was DJ Giddings, the running back. I like to go with defensive guys, but I think I'm going to go with an offensive guy. I'm going to go with Trey Spivey. Why not? I mean, he's got 4 catches. He's on the 2 deep. He's a kid out of our state up there at Chandler Hamilton. My guy Mark Tucker from the USC days is the line coach up there at Chandler Hamilton. And like I said, I got a chance to know his dad, so I'm gonna see that Trey Spivey maybe has his first big game as a collegiate today for the redshirt sophomore. Yes, he does.
Because Junior was like a DB.
Ernest Lee Spivey the third. Yeah, Junior was he could play some ball for sure. 5 years with the Arizona Diamondbacks, Milwaukee Brewers, and the Washington Nationals. All right, those are the guys we think, the Purple Cats, who will get underneath the Red Cat skin tonight in Manhattan.
That's our Pest of the Game, brought to you by University Termite and Pest Control. BePestFree.com.
All right, we have got one more segment to go. We'll have our keys to the game, our best bets. Again, Arizona is a 7-point underdog today. Not everybody is buying in to the Wildcats winning this game tonight. We've got a few people chiming in on the show today. Let's see. I think I saw one here. I might, if I can't find it right now, I'll have to read it on the way back of the show. But we've got a few people that are chiming in with some comments. I lost it that fast, but here we go. Our guy Rich Carrillo, he's not a believer, I'll tell you that. Rich Carrillo is not a believer in what's happening right now with this Arizona Wildcats program. He says the winning streak comes to an end tonight. KSU rolls up 300-plus yards on the ground, controls the clock, and dominates play in the trenches on both sides of the ball. Kansas State wins decisively, says Rich Carrillo, the ex-ref, 34-20. All right. We'll see if Rich is
Rich,
right.
Rich played like he played like 10 years in the NFL and played.
Well, he might have reffed 10 years in the
that's
NFL.
what I was going to say.
I don't know if he played.
That's all he reffed. He reffed.
But he's always showing himself in the stripes.
Yeah.
But we appreciate Rich being a fan of the show. All right, we'll come back again. Keys to the game and much, much more. Best bets. It's Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day live from Corbett's on 4th Ave on a Friday in Tucson. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE EAGLE.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Kia, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Kia, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus or royalkia.com.
Joel McHale, live.
It was colder in Winnipeg than it was on Mars. What did the people of Winnipeg do when it was colder there than Mars differently? Nothing. They sent their kids to school. They were just like, run!
As seen on Netflix, Friday, October 18th, 8 p.m., Diamond Center at Desert Diamond Casino Sahuarita. Tickets on sale now at the Rewards Center or online at etix.com. Don't miss Joel McHale, live.
As coach of the Wildcats, I know the importance of teamwork. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Is your AC system more than 10 years old and costing you too much in repairs? Beat the heat, call Right Way. Get a new system with 10-year parts warranty, 10-year labor warranty, and 60 months no-interest financing. Make replacing easier on your wallet. Call today.
Don't delay. Call or text 520-657-0699. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, the Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest
30 seconds, DK, 30 seconds.
To start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all.
10 seconds, DK, 10 seconds.
Them today at 5801 East Speedway and discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Our Window Depot coverage of U of A football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Ifan.
And Fafita working out of the shotgun from the right hash mark. Miranda in motion, and the handoff will go to Conley looking for a hole. Breaks it out to midfield. Look out. 40 down to the 30, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, and dives inside the 5. It'll be first and goal Arizona at the Lumberjack 2-yard line.
Call him Big Play Conley. This guy, every time he touches the ball, something good happens. He rips off a play right off tackle on the right side, up the sideline, and virtually goes untouched until he gets to about the 2-yard line. Great run by Quali Conley.
Conley, a senior now out of Fresno, transfer from San Jose State. And last week he had a 51-yard run. This one goes for 58.
Quali Connolly, big game last week for the Arizona Wildcats in that 22-10 win. Offensive line, we mentioned, got it going in the run game for the second consecutive week down the stretch, although they struggled early in the game in the passing aspect of it. Dino Babers on his evaluation of the offensive line last week.
I thought we were really clean the first game. I thought we were not so clean the second game. But I thought the effort was fantastic. The new guys really were trying hard. They really played hard. They didn't always do everything right, but they really played hard.
And Dino always gives us at least one great quote every week, or at least every time we talk to him. And this week, it was his comparison about the need to make sure that they get Tetero McMillan involved in this offense.
T-Mac is one of our best players. For us to be at our best, he needs to touch the ball. We need to find ways to make sure he gets the ball. What that number is, I don't know what that number is. But I know if you and I were on a 3-man basketball team and the other guy was Michael Jordan, I don't think you and I were supposed to shoot a whole bunch. We're going to be hopefully trying to grab a rebound, taking a bunch of charges, and setting a bunch of picks and getting ran over. And we're going to like it because Michael's going to be hitting all those shots. So we have other guys that can make plays, but there's no doubt that T-Mac is special, and we need to find a way to get him the ball.
Well, that says it right there. I mean, he likes these, laid out some different names and some different comparisons. We heard the in terms of T-Mac, we heard the Larry Fitzgerald comparison about the catch radius a few weeks ago, and then just right there, Michael Jordan in terms of what this guy means to this offense. And 2 catches is not going to win you a game like tonight.
I was going to say Michael Jordan wasn't Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He got Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, exactly.
And all those other guys,
exactly.
Right? Once he got those other guys around him and they started balling.
Yeah, that's how he got Michael Jordan. Exactly. These other guys are going to help T-Mac. But I liked it what he said about the offensive line, the effort. Effort, you can't coach effort. Effort has got to be there. And I liked it. I'm encouraged that he says the effort was there, but we got to clean up the missed assignments, the letting a guy go outside, go free on a blitz or something.
9 minutes left.
So we really got to clean that kind of stuff up.
All right, let's find out if we're going to win any money on this game tonight.
Tucson.
What are today's best bets? Will the Cats beat the spread?
It's time to look at some of the best bets in football this weekend. Today's best bets are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, it is a 7-point spread in favor of your Arizona, or I should say against your Arizona Wildcats tonight. Glenn, are you taking Arizona +7?
I'm taking Arizona +7, baby.
Ooh, all right. Kelvin?
Ooh, man, I actually picked us to lose this game.
Oh, boy.
So,
all right.
So which way do I go to?
K-State -7, or you're going to lose by more than a touchdown. So you're picking us to lose by more than the touchdown in this game. I think
I'm taking us with 7 then.
Oh, so you're taking us, so it's going to be a close game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close.
Yeah. All right, you're going to say Arizona +7. Well, this is a game. I think this is the first of 2 games. We're going to find out who we are. I'm taking K-State -7 points in this game. I don't have a real good feeling about what's going to happen tonight in Manhattan. All right, 61 points on the over/under. Does the offense return this week to make sure that happens?
I take the under.
You're taking the under on that. Kelvin?
I'm taking the under. I think Kansas State is going to try to make the game ugly.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they haven't run a lot. And the Wildcats didn't run a lot of plays last week. Neither did Kansas State. So I'm going to go the under as well on this game. So Glenn and Kelvin taking Arizona +7 and the under. DK taking Kansas State -7 and the under.
Those are today's best bets. They are brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet. Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game?
Our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, keys to the game coming up. We'll start with Glenn Howe.
Keys to the game tonight is the offensive line's got to dominate this game. It's all going to be, I hate to put it on one person or 5 guys, but I'm putting it on our 5 guys. If they play well tonight, we will win this ball game. If they do not play well, we will lose this game.
I got take care of the football. I think it's important to make sure we don't give them extra possessions so they can run the ball and run out the clock. I think tackling is going to be very important because they're going to run the ball. So they're going to be trying to be physical and run the ball. They think we West Coast, so they're going to test us. So we got to be ready to tackle. And then I think we have to run the football and play a little bit of keep away. Let's get a lead, and then let's play from there.
Well, and I agree with that because, again, this is a team, they want to be in the 70s, 70, 75 in terms of play count. Yep. And so if you can keep them out of that range, I think if you can have a game like last week where both teams are playing in the 50s, I think that gives the Arizona Wildcats their best chance to win this ball game. Contain Avery Johnson, make him beat you with his arm, but don't let him run the ball and move the chains and extend drives on third down, getting out of the pocket. And that's really going to be, I think, the linebackers. We saw a number of times last week where, the linebackers, if they send Jacob Manu on a blitz and then Tay Brown is in coverage, if the quarterback gets out, you got everybody else running the other direction. Somebody's got to come back for that quarterback. So that's dangerous, I think, in a game like tonight. So you've got to make sure you've got your eyes on Avery Johnson. So Avery Johnson, don't let him escape, and make sure that you keep the snap count offensively down for Kansas State in the 50s. I think that gives you a chance. And I think, like you said, Glenn, if we can establish that this is indeed a running football team, like we've seen with the guys that have been available, whether it's the 4 oars in game 1 or the 3 oars in game 2, I think if you see that type of what we've seen in the second half, if you can do that for 4 quarters today, you've got a very good chance of winning in Manhattan, Kansas.
Yeah, and if we run the ball, that's going to give opportunities for us to go to get some long shots because they're going to be coming up in the box and everything. They're going to try to go maybe a little man-to-man and roll the dice a little bit, and we're going to be able to get T-Mac open.
All right, those are your keys to the game. A Wildcats win for Arizona over the Wildcats of Kansas State.
Our keys to the game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. The dealership that is different.
All right, you're going to see your Arizona Wildcats tonight wearing red helmets. I already asked Kelvin about this. He's not a fan.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Brent Brennan on this.
I think anything that the players get excited about is good. I love it. I think that's fun. I think that's part of college football now. Some people may or may not agree with it, but for me, it's about the players.
Your thoughts, Glenn?
I don't like it. I don't like it. But if they're excited about it, you better play excited.
Play excited.
You play excited. You better play excited,
I'm
man.
not a uniform. I don't get jazzed up over uniforms or anything of that nature anymore. But hey, I like I think it's got an interesting look to it. It's got an old school look to it. I am a little bit of a throwbacks kind of guy, and it does have that kind of a throwback feel to it.
Yeah.
So let's see if it works to perfection tonight in Manhattan, Kansas, where it's not the first time that Brent Brennan has been to Manhattan, Kansas. He did take a trip back there at one point when he was an assistant coach at San Jose State.
The only time I've been out there was, I think, when I was an assistant with Coach Tomey at San Jose. I believe we went out there in 2007, and we're still trying to tackle Jordy Nelson. So that's all I remember.
Not a bad receiver was Jordy Nelson for the Kansas Jayhawks. I think he went on and played a few minutes on Sundays.
Yeah, he did.
Well, played for Bill Snyder, obviously, from 2003 to 2005, and then Jordy Nelson went on to play for the Green Bay Packers. He was on that Super Bowl champion team with Brett Favre and those guys, was an All-American, caught 613 balls in the National Football League, close to 9,000 yards in his career and 72 touchdowns between the Packers and his final season playing with your Raiders there in Oakland. So definitely a good career for that young man. Oh, it was very difficult to contain that night for Coach Tomey and Brent Brennan and the San Jose State Spartans. All right, guys, final thoughts on this game.
Let's just go out there fired up. We got to cut our mistakes down, and O-line, get fired up, get your ears back, and let's just protect Noah, keep him upright, and we're going to win this ball game.
Well, myself, I'm excited about the unofficial start of the Big 12,
right?
Right, and just want to see the guys go out and play a physical brand of football and represent Arizona well.
Well, we want to thank all the folks down here at Corbett's, Elizabeth and Company, for joining us on the show and for having us down here. This will be our home for all Arizona road games, which means we'll be back here in 2 weeks tomorrow for the actual opening of Big 12 Conference play. It'll be against a familiar opponent in the Utah Utes when the Wildcats go over to Salt Lake City. All right, that's going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to everybody that was on site today. We had Nate Dogg, we had Monique, we had Garrett, we had Priscilla, we had Chanel as well. J.W. Madden back in studio with the rest of. We got a lot of new crew today. We had David Amata back there. We had Jose Guevara. We had Robert Dietrich. A couple of those guys joining the team, and we appreciate them. Coming up next, Arizona and Kansas State for Calvin Efon and Glenn Helm, David Kelly. Bear down, Arizona.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football continues. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, Drain Medics, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne the Injury Lawyers, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Police Department, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 35 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees. Bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including Tucson and Sierra Vista, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 2,200 five-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after an accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm 4 years in a row tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcast. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going.